NVC, and what I would say about my personal relationship with nonviolent communication, NVC, is that to the degree that I use it as a set of principles to shift my consciousness, it is, for me, universally applicable. It is the underpinning of absolutely everything I do. But it's not about nonviolent communication. It's about the principles of nonviolence are underneath everything that I do. The principle of do no harm, the principle of reducing suffering instead of adding to suffering in the world, the principle of shared humanity, of creating social systems that are ecological and networked and interdependent. These principles, which I think Marshall Rosenberg was fully behind and then put a little communication model on to give it a very practical gateway to help people get there, profound, so great. But for people who are not conscious and verbal, NVC is not the right tool. A communication model does not appeal to all people. So we need other frameworks, because where it's pointing to, where it's trying to get us to, that is for all people. In terms of health and healing and reducing suffering on the planet and learning how to work together in interdependent and healthy and healed ways, and getting our all of the historical and intergenerational trauma that we are collectively metabolizing because of the history of tremendous violence to one another on this planet. The problem of violence, which is a reptilian brain problem, and the desire to move into more mammalian prefrontal cortex functioning, to live from your more energetic, eternal, resource-loving, whatever language works for you, higher vibration, divine source energy, whatever language you like, that journey, I think, is universal. And we are very diverse on this planet, and different people need different language. I can use the word God with some people and it will absolutely resonate with them. I can use the word God with other people and they have a nervous system response to that. So we adapt our language because it's not about the word, it's about what we're trying to point to. And those universals, to the degree that any of these modalities, whichever one of them, is helping somebody love themselves and love other people, make peace with their past, metabolize the trauma that is in their nervous systems and in their system, and become more relational and a more expanded, relaxed, wise version of themselves, use that modality. I have no attachment to any one of them. I of course, love nonviolent communication. It's a really good fit for me. I don't assume, however, that that is the right modality for all people. But I know that it helps me show up in a way that feels most empowered and most authentic to myself. So it's the one that I use because it's good medicine for me. I'm not imposing it on anyone else. Does that make sense? And I feel that way about all kinds of therapies. I know that there are various ways that I enjoy doing therapy as a therapist. There are various ways that I like practicing psychology. It's not for everybody, and it's not for every issue. Like I've learned over the years that I'm really good at some things and not other things, just because I don't enjoy them. There's other people. This is the lovely thing about interdependence. I have a deep belief that if we each got really, really connected to ourselves and lived from each of our inner blueprints, that we're all here to play a different part. And that's the part we're meant to play. We're not here to play every part. And I think of it a little bit like cells in the body. Like some of us are immune system cells, and some of us are, neurons, and some of us are like neurotransmitters, and some of us are hormones, and some of us are fat cells, and some of us are like nail beds, and every single part is needed. And so I think about this, like when we think about communication modalities, healing modalities. This is why I start these calls with trust your inner authority, because your inner authority will guide you to what does and doesn't work. And when you have a resistance to something, honor that. But it doesn't mean that everybody else will.